If you're interested in learning to trade on Betfair, then visit the BetAngel Academy, where you have detailed, structured Betfair trading courses. Or why not visit our website where you can download a free trial of BetAngel Professional, but also visit the forum where you can get detailed images, examples, and downloadable files. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon if you want notification of new videos as they're released. So when you're actively trading, you need to be in the markets at approximately the right time. And the most important thing when you're actively trading is actually not getting in to the right position. I know this sounds funny, but I would be an advocate for not worrying about your entry position. Now, obviously, you need to do a valid, sensible entry position into the market, but you're sort of more focused really on being able to get out. One of the issues that you're going to have is that if you can't get out of a position sensibly, then you're going to be in real desperate trouble. And therefore you need to be in the market when the market is most liquid. So on horse racing, we're an hour 30 away from the start of this particular race. I expect most of the money to arrive in this race in the last 5 minutes. So we're going to have the best part of an hour 30 of staring at increasing volume, but not massive amounts of volume basically. And therefore timing your entry in and out of the market is absolutely critical, and there's an easy way of understanding why this is the case. So in this particular market, if I look at this market, I would estimate that there's probably going to be about 500,000 to 600,000, somewhere in that region of money matched. So you can see there's only 25,000 matched. Volume tends to arrive very late on a race because horses are not machines, and therefore people want to have a look at the horse before they place a bet. So most of the money arrives late on. But that has a direct impact on how you would most likely trade a market. So say we think we've got an opportunity here, and this runner fits a lot of criteria for something that we think is going to steam, is going to get backed in, the price is going to come down the ladder. One of the issues that we've got here is there is just no money in the market. We're an hour 30 out. We know there's going to be at least 500,000 in this market, so there's £475,000 missing. So if we try and back with £100 to do our trade, can you see there isn't £100 available? We've got 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then we have to back it at 288. So basically, if you try and get a decent trade on here, and I wouldn't say £100 is decent for me at all, then you're going to have to take a wide range of prices. You take a lower price, and therefore you're less likely to profit. But also, okay, imagine there was several £100 here that we could take. Let's say that we got this horrifically wrong and something started to change within the market. Maybe they unloaded this horse from its box and they went to take it to the stables, but there was a problem. And suddenly word gets out that there's an issue with the horse, and then the price starts to drift because people on course are beginning to lay it knowing that there's an issue. You've put your £100 in here at 3. But look how little it would take to move the price up. If I wanted to move the price in this market by 10 ticks, I wouldn't need much money at all. Let's count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so let's move it by 9 ticks then. So we avoid that 255. But you can see here there's 70, 110, 130, 40, 150, 200. For less than £300, I could basically move the price of this from 3 to close on 3.5. So if I wanted to shake this market up a bit, I could just drop in £300 at 345 to lay, and the price would go rocketing out. Now the problem that you face is that that's the scenario you could face. So say we backed with £100 at 3, there's almost nothing stopping it from moving upwards. So the issue that you have is not getting into the market, because you can back at a variety of different prices. It's getting out, and this is why when you trade a market, you need it to be liquid. By liquid, I mean have lots of money on both sides of the book. By both sides of the book, we mean loads of money here and loads of money there. You can see that this market is what we would term illiquid. There is absolutely nothing here whatsoever, so you cannot trade it. Doesn't matter how strong your criteria is, whatever you come up with, some theory or something that somebody has told you, you basically are taking too much risk. Whatever amount of money you put on this side, if it goes wrong, you won't be able to get out, and in the process of getting out, you're going to be pushing the price higher and higher, further and further away, making a bigger and bigger loss. So the problem that you have if you try and do a trade in the morning with the anticipation of getting out later on is there is just no money in the market. There is absolutely none. So, at the moment we are at 5% of the total amount of volume that we expect in this market, and the market's really thin, very illiquid, no money on either side of it, and if we get ourselves into a bit of a pickle, we will be unable to get out at a reasonable price. So you should time your entry to the market when there is large amounts of money in the market, and when both sides of the book on whichever run you're looking to trade is flush with money, because that means that if you make a mistake you can get rid of the trade really quickly without too much of a loss. But if you try and get involved in the market in the morning to try and do a longer term trade, you're going to put yourself up against enormous amounts of risk. And if somebody wanted to deliberately shake out people that had got in on a trade at a lower level, they could do it with just a couple of £100. They could move the price fairly significantly, fairly easily. So yeah, I'm not an advocate of doing trades early in the morning. If you look at the average price movement, so we're looking at this novice hurdle, it's probably not the best example, but the average price movement on a race from this time of the morning to the start of the race is actually zero, believe it or not. So the price movement that you tend to get between any 2 points on a race is more or less sort of exactly where it started, and so you're more worried about the risk that you take with the price moving away from your opening position in one direction or the other. It's the ability to get out that very often defines a profitable trade, or not making a loss, than necessarily picking a fantastic entry point. And while it's important to get a decent entry point, it's more important that you can get out of your trade quickly and easy. And that's why I don't tend to be an advocate for putting a trade in early in the morning, simply because there's not enough money, and most certainly if the trade goes wrong, that balance, that careful balance between profits and losses that you're going to try and achieve when you're trading, will get unbalanced, simply because if you attempt to get out, you're going to have to move the price, and if the price does move, it will move quickly, violently against you. So yeah, much better to be in the market when it's very liquid and you have the opportunity to exit for the smallest loss possible.